The newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The health department says 85% of COVID-19 patients staying in ICU wards in Metro Manila are unvaccinated. DOH also notes a steady increase in hospital admissions in Metro Manila amid the continuous rise in cases. With this, health authorities urge the public to get vaccinated to prevent severe infection from COVID-19. The agency adds that those eligible for booster shots should receive their jab as soon as possible. Meanwhile, the 3 recorded cases of Omicron variant infections were either asymptomatic or presented only mild symptoms, according to the DOH. DOH Epidemiology Bureau Director Dr. Althea de Guzman said all recorded Omicron patients have now completed their quarantine. And while the disease were only mild, she reminded the public to stay vigilant.
Yung tatlong kaso natin, kung hindi asymptomatic, ay mga mild disease lamang ang pinresent po nila. No? And sa ngayon din, nakakompleto na po sila ng kanilang mga isolation.
Meanwhile, Health Secretary Francisco Duque III again urged people to cooperate with contact tracing efforts. He also asked the public to be truthful in answering contact tracing procedures.
You have to cooperate. You have to submit yourself. We have the numbers. We have sufficiently and adequately published those numbers for them to contact para to really give the real information and the proper interventions. Again, it's for their protection. Hindi naman po gagawin ito para po sila mapahamak. Ginagawa po natin ito dahil ayon po sa batas.
A photographer in India captures dreadful scenes during the country's deadliest COVID-19 wave to date. Here's what he has to say.
My name is Arindita Mukherjee. I'm an independent photographer based out of New Delhi, India, and I shoot for Bloomberg. I was covering mass cremations. The second wave hit us really hard. The hospitals were overwhelmed and there were many casualties. There was a rooftop from where I used to shoot top angle shots of the funeral pyres, and there were a lot of clothes, discarded clothes, and the pile started growing. One day I asked one of the priests who was also taking a break about those clothes, and he mentioned that those clothes belonged to the deceased. So my first question was, the bodies are being brought in a white shroud. How are those coming with the bodies? He answered that people were dying not just in hospitals, but also in temporary setups. And the relatives were discarding whatever bed sheets or shirts or whatever piece of clothing belonged to the patients. I decided to stay back and do some low light shots. In the background, there is a hint of flames from the leftover pyres. Honestly speaking, I was also overwhelmed, as was everyone. It is not every day that we come across a place where there are 50 pyres burned. It happened when there are natural disasters like earthquakes and stuff. But this is something that could have been controlled. These people were dead because of a disease and others waiting for their turn. I had lost my parents at a very young age, and I remember going to the crematoriums, and I'm sure it's not easy. So I myself never ventured too close to the grieving relatives so that they could have their own space, and try to portray the massiveness of the situation as subtly and artistically, if I may. We had to be very, very, very careful and have respect for the people who came there. I would prefer my images to pass the test of time. So a photograph that should provoke attention and interest of a viewer, maybe if he sees it on a magazine cover or any place, it would be the best reward for me if he or she would explore it further. It's a part of history. This is not going to happen ever again, and we hope it doesn't.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The National Police is investigating four alleged stray bullet incidents during the New Year celebration. PNP Chief Jonardo Carlos said the incidents happened in Ilocos Region, Calabarzon, Northern Mindanao, and Cordillera. Despite this, Carlos said the number of stray bullet incidents in the new year was lower compared to the previous years. The PNP chief also assured local PNP units of their forensic and technical support in assisting and in investigations. Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The Environment Department eyes the controversial Manila Baywalk Dolomite Beach to be swimmable by this month. Undersecretary Jonas Leones said the agency is continuing the water treatment of Manila Bay. Leones has expressed optimism that the target will be met for visitors to be able to fully enjoy the artificial white sand beach. In sports, weightlifting champion Hidilyn Diaz confirms her plans to pursue another Olympic run. In an Instagram post, Diaz uploaded a photo of herself while holding a model of Paris' iconic landmark, the Eiffel Tower. The post was captioned, "New Year, New Beginning, New Goal" with hashtag Paris 2024. And in weather, Pagasa says the first week of 2022 will be typhoon-free. This, as Pagasa says, no weather disturbance is expected to enter or form within the Philippine area of responsibility. However, the Weather Bureau says scattered rains and thunderstorms are still expected in some parts of the country. Now, for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.